Thank you for choosing Wisdom of the Dharma. If you found this video insightful, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, so you never miss a new update. Your support helps us keep sharing powerful, life-changing wisdom with the world. And don't forget to drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's grow and learn together. Have you ever felt like money slips through your fingers no matter how hard you work? You budget, you hustle, you try to plan ahead, yet the flow of wealth never seems to stay. What if the answer isn't out there in your job or the stock market, but right inside your home, hidden in the simplest of objects, a single bottle of water? It sounds unbelievable, almost too simple to matter. But in the world of Feng Shui, and even deeper in the Dharma, water has always symbolized the movement of energy, of life itself. Water nourishes, but it also carries away. It represents not just wealth, but circulation, the way opportunities arrive, linger, or vanish. Where water is placed and how it is treated becomes a mirror for how we invite prosperity into our lives, or how we unknowingly let it drain away. Imagine this. Every time you walk through your front door, you are not just entering your house, you are also carrying energy, your mood, your worries, your hopes. Where that energy lands determines whether your home amplifies it or dissipates it. A bottle of clean spring water placed with intention can act like a silent guardian, catching the chaos of the outside world and inviting clarity in. Misplace that bottle, and you may be signaling to the universe that your fortune is ready to leak away. From a Buddhist perspective, this isn't superstition, it's mindfulness in action. The Buddha often spoke of the river as a metaphor for life, constantly changing, impossible to hold still, yet always moving toward the sea. Wealth is the same. We cannot grab it and lock it away, but we can learn how to guide its flow, to create conditions where abundance pauses, gathers, and nurtures us before moving forward. In today's journey, I will share with you not just where not to put water, but the 3 golden spots where a single bottle can transform your environment into a reservoir of calm, clarity, and prosperity. Stay with me until the end, because I'll also give you a 7-day plan to test this practice yourself. No superstition required. Just attention and sincerity. Take a deep breath with me and affirm, clear water, clear mind, clear wealth. This is where your new flow begins. Why water symbolizes wealth and opportunity. Across cultures, water has always been the source of life. Ancient civilizations built their cities along rivers, temples sought springs for hermitages, and merchants relied on ports for trade. Where water flowed, life prospered. Feng Shui, the art of harmonizing energy in our living spaces, simply put words to this timeless truth. Water gathers, wealth gathers. In Feng Shui, water represents not just physical nourishment, but the circulation of money, ideas, and opportunities. Still water symbolizes savings and stability. Flowing water reflects income and expansion. When water is blocked, stagnant, or misplaced, the same patterns echo in our lives. Projects stall, resources dry up, or chances pass us by. From a Dharma perspective, the meaning goes even deeper. The Buddha often pointed to rivers and oceans to illustrate impermanence. No wave is ever the same, yet the sea is endless. In the same way, money is not something to cling to. It is energy in motion, dependent on countless causes and conditions, your effort, the economy, the goodwill of others, even the simple health of your body and mind. To mistake money for a permanent possession is to suffer. But to see it as a current that flows through you, and to learn how to guide that current wisely, is to taste freedom. Modern psychology quietly agrees. Studies in environmental design show that visible, meaningful objects shape our behavior more than we realize. A bottle of clear spring water placed with care becomes more than decoration. It becomes a cue, reminding you daily to pause, breathe, and align your actions. That alignment, clarity in budgeting, mindfulness in spending, generosity in giving, is what actually multiplies wealth. So when we speak of water as fortune, we are not saying that a bottle on your table magically fills your bank account. We are saying that the presence of water, placed with awareness, becomes a mirror and a teacher. It reminds you to let money flow, not hoard, to direct it where it nourishes, not where it leaks. When water moves smoothly, life moves smoothly. And when life moves smoothly, wealth finds a natural path to arrive and remain. The places that quietly drain your fortune. Before we can talk about where to invite wealth in, we must first close the hidden leaks. A single misplaced bottle of water may look harmless, yet symbolically it can send your fortune out the back door without you even noticing. Number 1. The bathroom, a channel of outflow. Bathrooms are designed for release. Every pipe, drain, and flush carries something away. When water, already the symbol of wealth, is placed here, it merges with that outflow. You might still earn, but saving feels impossible. Families often describe this as money disappearing with no explanation. The correction is simple: keep water symbols out of this room, close the door when not in use, and let the bathroom remain a place for cleansing, not accumulating. Number 2. The bedroom, stillness disturbed. Your bedroom is where the body restores itself. It should be like a mountain lake at dawn, quiet, still, regenerative. A bottle of water on the nightstand may seem convenient, but its symbolism is movement and circulation. That active current collides with the stillness the bedroom needs, leading to restless sleep, irritable moods, and a subtle drain on focus. If you need water at night, keep a small covered cup inside a drawer, not visible. Preserve the atmosphere of stillness. Number 3. The kitchen stove zone, fire and water at war. The kitchen is the hearth of the family, and the stove is pure fire energy, warmth, transformation, vitality. Place water directly beside the stove, and you create elemental conflict. Just as fire sputters when doused, household finances may start strong but fizzle. This doesn't mean no water in the kitchen, it means water belongs in the cool corner, not at the fiery heart. Keep the cooking zone dedicated to fire, and let water balance it from a respectful distance. Number 4. Balconies and windows, where wealth escapes. These are thresholds between the safety of home and the vastness of the outside world. Placing water here is like leaving your wallet beside an open door. Wealth flows outward, never pausing to nourish the household. The effect is subtle but real. Money arrives but never stays, plans unravel, and the home feels less grounded. Keep thresholds bright and uncluttered, but free of bottled water. Number 5. Small habits, big impact. Even outside these rooms, a few habits quietly erode prosperity, leaving bottles uncapped until the water tastes stale, scattering too many bottles so energy diffuses, letting them grow dusty and forgotten. Each sends a silent message of neglect. Remember, attention is the true currency. Where your attention goes, your fortune follows. The prosperity triangle, 3 golden positions. Once you've sealed the leaks, it's time to invite fortune in. Feng Shui masters often speak of anchor points, places where energy naturally gathers. In Dharma we might call them conditions, spaces where seeds can sprout if tended carefully. When it comes to water, 3 positions form a prosperity triangle: the main door, the kitchen's cool corner, and the eastern side of the living room. Together they represent receiving, balancing, and growing. Number 1. The main door, receiving opportunity. Your front entrance is the mouth of the home. Every visitor, delivery, or returning family member passes through it, carrying the energy of the outside world. Place a sealed bottle of spring water just inside, on a console, a small tray, or a neat shelf. Its presence acts as a symbolic filter. Heavy energy pauses and clarity is welcomed. The daily act of wiping this space becomes more than cleaning. It becomes a ritual of readiness. Each time you cross that threshold, you remind yourself to receive only what is skillful and to let go of the rest. Number 2. The kitchen cool corner, balancing fire and water. The kitchen feeds both body and fortune. Yet, because it belongs to fire energy, it can become overheated, arguments while cooking, impulse spending on food, or stress around mealtimes. A bottle of water placed in a cool corner away from the stove introduces balance. Pair it with a sprig of mint or a pinch of salt, and suddenly that corner becomes a calm counterweight to the flames. Families who adopt this practice often notice meals feel gentler, planning becomes easier, and spending on groceries grows more mindful. Fire provides passion, water provides clarity. Together, they sustain. Number 3. The living room east, growing abundance. The east is where the sun rises, where growth begins. In Feng Shui, it is the direction of vitality, learning, and opportunity. Placing a bottle of water on the eastern side of your living room, by a plant stand, bookshelf, or window ledge, activates that energy. Imagine morning light shining through, illuminating the water, casting a shimmer of renewal. Symbolically, it is like watering your future each dawn. This position benefits the whole household. Children find focus in studies, adults gain confidence in career steps, and the home feels aligned with beginnings rather than endings. The triangle effect. Individually, each location strengthens one aspect of fortune. Together, they create a cycle. The door receives, the kitchen balances, the living room grows. Receive, balance, grow. It's a pattern as old as rivers meeting the sea. With a few dollars and sincere attention, you turn your home into a vessel capable of holding prosperity without spilling it away. The bottle ritual and micro-mindfulness. Symbols only work when they connect to action. A bottle of water, if treated like clutter, becomes clutter. But if treated like a ritual object, it transforms into a teacher, reminding you of balance, flow, and clarity every time you see it. The ritual does not require superstition, only sincerity. Step 1. Choose the water. Whenever possible, use spring water or filtered water with a clean, natural taste. The symbolism here is purity, wealth that is transparent, not muddied by dishonesty or waste. If bottled spring water is not accessible, take the time to filter tap water and pour it mindfully into a clean container. Step 2. Prepare the vessel. Pick a clear glass bottle or jar with a lid. Wash it carefully, remove any labels, and dry it completely. A transparent vessel allows you to see the clarity of the water, your symbol of transparent finances and open energy. Using a lid is important, because it prevents stagnation and sends the subtle message that your wealth is cared for, not left exposed to dust and decay. Step 3. State the intention. Before placing the bottle, hold it with both hands. Take one breath in, one breath out, and whisper a short phrase. It could be, "May this home circulate wisdom, health, and enough." The wording doesn't matter as much as the sincerity. In Dharma practice, words shape the mind. What you repeat becomes your habit. Step 4. Place and link to action. Set the bottle in one of the golden positions: entryway, kitchen cool corner, or living room east. Then, pair it with a small daily action. For example, at the door, wipe the handle each morning, symbolizing clearing away negative energy. In the kitchen, plan tomorrow's meal while standing near the cool corner. In the living room, write one line in your notebook each morning as sunlight hits the water. This pairing ensures the ritual doesn't stop at symbolism but creates momentum in your real-life behavior. Step 5. Renew weekly. Every 7 days, pour the water into a living plant outdoors, never down the sink. This closes the cycle with generosity, giving life rather than discarding. Wash the bottle, refill, and reset your intention. Renewal prevents stagnation, both for the water and for your habits. The micro-mindfulness practice, 30 seconds whenever you notice the bottle, pause for 3 breaths. Inhale, gather. Feel yourself collecting focus. Exhale, balance. Release tension from shoulders and jaw. Inhale again, grow. Picture one small, useful action you can take next. This brief practice turns your bottle into a trigger for clarity. In less than a minute, you've reset your nervous system, calmed your mind, and reminded yourself to act wisely. When repeated daily, this ritual becomes a rhythm, quiet, steady, and profoundly supportive. A simple bottle of water now carries not just liquid, but intention, discipline, and flow. Stories and case studies. Symbols come alive when lived by real people. Over the years, I've seen how a single bottle of water, placed with care, quietly reshapes behavior and energy in remarkable ways. These stories are not tales of magic, but composites of real experiences, modern households, ordinary struggles, and practical results. Number 1. The designer's threshold. Leah, a freelance graphic designer, earned a decent income but was constantly stressed about payments. Her apartment entryway was cluttered with parcels and shoes. Bills piled on the floor, and she often felt scattered before client calls. We started with one simple change, a bottle of spring water on a slim console by the front door, paired with a cloth and a sticky note that read, "Clear in, clear out." At first, it felt trivial. But within 2 weeks, Leah noticed herself wiping the console daily, sorting mail immediately instead of dropping it, and even drafting invoices while standing there with her laptop bag still on her shoulder. This ritual created a threshold moment. Each time she entered, she recentered, and each time she left, she carried intention. Over 3 months, not only did her space look calmer, but she cut her invoice delays in half, stabilizing her cash flow. Number 2. The family kitchen reset. A couple, Martin and Sophia, loved cooking but often argued in the kitchen. Their water filter pitcher sat right beside the stove, symbolically throwing water against fire. Meals became stressful, and grocery bills climbed. The adjustment? Moving the water pitcher to the far counter, creating a cool corner. Alongside it, they placed a small bowl of sea salt and a sprig of rosemary. Almost immediately, they reported meals felt calmer. Arguments still happened, but softened. More importantly, they began planning their weekly menu while standing near the cool corner, because that was where the bottle lived. By the end of 2 months, their grocery spending dropped noticeably, not by deprivation, but by mindful preparation. Fire and water were no longer at war, they were in quiet partnership. Number 3. The student's east window. Darius, a university student preparing for law school exams, felt overwhelmed and unfocused. His living room's east side was cluttered with an old TV and snack bags. We cleared a small space under the east-facing window and placed a glass bottle of water there, beside his planner. Each morning, as sunlight struck the bottle, he sat for 20 minutes to review notes before touching his phone. At first, it felt forced. But after a few weeks, the ritual turned automatic. The shimmer of light on water became his cue to begin. 4 months later, he passed his exam with strong scores and shared that he felt mentally steadier, less frantic. He credited not the bottle itself, but the habit it triggered, beginning each day in clarity rather than distraction. These stories share a common thread. The bottle of water became a symbol that reshaped daily behavior. Leah began invoicing on time. Martin and Sophia calmed their meals and saved money. Darius turned sunrise into study time. None of them relied on luck or superstition. They relied on consistent, mindful action sparked by a humble symbol. The lesson is simple yet profound. When water flows with intention, prosperity follows, not as sudden miracles, but as steady alignment between mind, environment, and opportunity. The science behind why it works. When people hear that a bottle of water could influence their finances, they often assume it's pure superstition. Yet the underlying power of this practice is rooted not in magic, but in human psychology, environmental design, and the science of habits. Number 1. Cue-based habits. Behavioral scientists know that context is stronger than willpower. Place a visual cue in a stable location, and it begins to shape what you do without you forcing it. The bottle of water at your front door is not attracting wealth like a magnet. It is reminding you, every time you cross the threshold, to take one deliberate action: tidy the space, breathe before leaving, sort the mail. Over time, these micro habits compound into financial stability. Bills are paid on time, opportunities aren't missed, and decisions are less reactive. Number 2. Environmental load. Cluttered or chaotic spaces silently tax the brain. Psychologists call this cognitive load. When your entry is a mess, or your kitchen counter is crowded, your nervous system has to process that overload before you can focus. A simple ritual, placing water in a designated, clear spot, turns those areas into anchors of calm. That calmness frees mental energy for better decisions. And money, at its core, is decision after decision: to spend, to save, to invest, or to share. Number 3. The role of renewal. Why refresh the bottle weekly? In neuroscience, rituals of renewal create temporal landmarks. They signal the brain, this is a fresh start. Studies show people are more likely to set goals and follow through after such landmarks. Think of New Year's resolutions or birthdays. By tying financial micro-actions, like moving $10 to savings, to your Sunday bottle refresh, you create a weekly reset point that keeps progress steady. Number 4. Effect and light. Another subtle but measurable effect: mood shifts with light and reflection. Morning sunlight on a clear bottle amplifies feelings of freshness and possibility. Psychologists call this the affect heuristic. When you feel good, you judge future options more optimistically and act with more courage. That one shift, seeing possibilities instead of limits, changes how you chase opportunities. Number 5. The meaning layer. Finally, meaning matters. When you whisper an intention over water, you align your body, speech, and mind. Dharma has always emphasized this triad. Action becomes powerful when thought, word, and deed line up. In modern terms, your ritual becomes a consistent, embodied reminder of what you value. And living in alignment with values is one of the strongest predictors of well-being, which includes financial health. So no, the bottle does not print money. What it does is far more practical. It hacks your environment, primes your habits, lifts your mood, and keeps your values visible. In that space of clarity, prosperity has room to grow, not as magic, but as the natural result of wise action repeated daily. Gentle corrections. Whenever people hear about the water placement ritual, questions naturally arise. These questions are healthy. They show a desire to understand rather than blindly follow. Let's walk through a few common ones and clarify with compassion. I live in a dorm or small studio. What if I can't set up 3 bottles? Choose one location only. If your space is limited, prioritize the entry. This is the place of receiving, and a single bottle here is more powerful than scattering too many in cramped corners. Simplicity always amplifies energy. My partner thinks this is silly. How do I practice without conflict? Invite them to test it as an experiment, not a belief. Say, let's try this for 4 weeks and simply notice if our mornings feel calmer or our bills get paid on time. Results speak louder than debate. And if they still resist, practice quietly in one discrete spot. Dharma teaches that truth needs no argument, only demonstration. Can I use a decanter or pitcher instead of a bottle? Yes, as long as it is clean, has a lid, and remains easy to maintain. Beauty can strengthen intention. The key is freshness. Don't let water stagnate. Is running water better? Fountains have their place, but in small apartments they can overstimulate and disturb sleep. Start with still water. Observe your rest and mood. If both improve, you're on the right track. What if I forget a week? Then you begin again. The practice is not about perfection but rhythm. Renewal is like meditation. When the mind wanders, you gently return to the breath. In the same way, when you forget, you simply return to clarity. Gentle reminders. Less is more. 1 or 2 bottles placed with intention beat 5 bottles scattered without care. Cleanliness is essential. Dusty water is a dusty habit. Refresh weekly. Link the ritual to action. Without action, the symbol is empty. With action, it becomes a compass. Ultimately, this practice is not about superstition or fear. It is about creating micro rituals of clarity, balance, and growth in the very spaces you inhabit. When approached with gentleness and discipline, even the smallest bottle can become a wellspring of steadiness in your life. Dharma lesson and conclusion. When we place a bottle of water in our home, we are not bending the laws of the universe. We are training our mind. The Buddha often spoke of the river as a mirror of life, ever flowing, never graspable. To cling tightly brings suffering, to ignore it brings waste. The path of wisdom lies in the middle, to guide the flow with care. Prosperity works in the same way. It is not a dragon to trap nor a prize to hoard. It is energy that moves, through your effort, your choices, your relationships, and the countless unseen causes around you. By placing water at the right points, you remind yourself daily to receive wisely, balance compassionately, and grow steadily. Think of it, the doorway teaches you to welcome opportunity. The kitchen corner teaches you to temper fire with calmness. The east window teaches you to face each day with renewal. These are not tricks of fortune, but gentle disciplines. They shape your behavior, which in turn shapes your destiny. And here lies the Dharma lesson. Wealth is not measured only by the numbers in your account. True wealth is the ability to act with clarity, to rest with peace, and to give with joy. When you can meet your needs without fear, share without resentment, and plan without panic, you are already rich in the deepest sense. So as we close this journey, take one more breath and affirm with me, clear water, clear mind, clear wealth. Let this practice be your reminder that abundance is not a distant promise. It begins with every mindful step you take inside your own home. If this teaching resonated with you, support the growth of this community. Subscribe to Wisdom of the Dharma for weekly insights, like this video if it helped you see your home differently, and comment below with your own affirmations so we can encourage one another. Together, we can learn to guide the currents of life with wisdom, balance, and compassion.